Hey everybody, it's Ben with Elevate Betas, and today I'm going to show you how we set up a breeding tub from start to finish. So the first thing you're going to need is a 5-gallon tub from your local dollar store, Walmart, Walgreens, Meijer, whatever you have around you. Get a 5-gallon tub like this that you can see through decently well. So you can watch what's going on with your pairing, you can watch the eggs, you can watch the fry, and you can begin to rear the fry in this tub. Now the next thing we need to do is add water. And we want this water to be the correct temperature of 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which triggers spawning and keeps betas happy and healthy. So let's add some water. So there we go, our water is added, and as you can see, it's not a lot of water. The reason being is we don't want them to be damaged when the female's doing the fall during the spawning process. They don't need a lot of water to do this. And then as we have fry, we could slowly just add fresh preconditioned water, like I have in this 20-gallon, to this to dilute nitrites and nitrates and things instead of trying to do water changes with the delicate fry in there. Now we need to add one of the most important pieces of this equation, and that is catappa leaves. So let's get those. So we like to use these leaves, these little mini leaves. You can find these on Amazon for a great price. And what these do is they release tannins into the water, which works as a natural antifungal and microbial. It's a natural supplement. It's a natural herbal remedy for the bettas. So this tannins also does something to the pH, which also initiates breeding and spawning and health within the eggs and the fry and your breeding pair. The other cool thing is as this leaf litter begins to decay, it'll naturally feed infusoria and things like that, which will feed your little betta fry. So having these jungle leaves, these catappa leaves in your breeding bins is an absolute must, and we actually run these leaves in every single betta tank we have at all times, always. This is a very important ingredient to have success breeding your bettas. So speaking of catappa leaves, we need to add a very large floating catappa leaf so the betta male can do his natural spawning behavior and create the bubble nest for the eggs and the fry under a floating leaf. But here's the problem. If the leaf gets too waterlogged and sinks, he has nothing to build the nest under. So we need the catappa leaf in here so we can build the nest, but a way to keep it upright. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of bubble wrap and then the leaf on top to keep it afloat and keep it from getting too wet, so that the male will have a good place to build his bubble nest. So let's do that now. Okay, so now we have a decently sized, about hand size piece of bubble wrap, and we're going to place it over here with the flat side down. Remember that, you want the flat side down. And now we're going to add our catappa leaf for the male to build his nest. Now that is not going to be a mini or a medium, but a very large catappa leaf. We want to encourage this male to build as big of a bubble nest as possible. And we want this bubble nest to be as protected as much as possible. So we're going to give them a very large catappa leaf to build their nest. So you saw the minis, a bunch fit in my hand. This is how big the nest leaf is. We're going to place that, we'll do it like this way, right on top of that bubble wrap. I'm going to put it over in this corner, and these little ones will sink very soon. And that'll start releasing the tannins, which protect and heal the fish, and buffer the pH and induce that spawning. So now we need to add the 2 fish. So let's put a male in here. Now we have our male and our female in our breeding bin. And we have our female in a chimney, which is just a water bottle cut up, so that she can still see him and they can continue their spawning rituals and their conditioning process, and he can build his nest without any unnecessary harm coming to the female betta. And once she signals that she's ready and his nest is completely built, we remove the chimney and they interact and the spawning begins. The other thing is, bare bottom, do not use gravel. When the eggs go down, they can get caught in between and the male sometime will not be able to get them up and out of the gravel, and the eggs can continually fall from the nest until they actually hatch. And then sometimes the fry need help getting back into the nest, and if the male can't get them out of the gravel, unfortunately you will have losses. So it's crucial that you run a bare bottom on your breeding tub. Simple. Now you just wait, feed them heavily to condition them 3 times a day, heavy proteins, frozen or live, things like brine shrimp, bloodworms, things of that nature. And she'll tell you, you'll see the behaviors, do your research, and when the time's right, you release the chimney, you watch them do their dance and spawn. It's a wonderful, awesome thing, and you have a bunch of new baby bettas. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck out there if you try to spawn your bettas. Remember, elevate the hobby and respect the fish. Peace out.